A lot of people try to confuse this. It's not as complicated as it might seem in terms of describing what's going on. Okay, basically, Horus is the archetype of Pharaoh, the ideal man, the top martial artist, the god of war, the Skylaw king, the avenger, etc. These are aspects that Horus embodies, and later on, at least by later on, the epitaphs, the sayings are adopted. They say the golden Horus, Horus the avenger, right? Who wins the golden prize? Who is God's right hand in terms of warfare and executing justice, right? The Skylaw king, a deity of justice, a deity of young men, the archetype of Pharaoh, the model for Pharaoh. A bunch of pharaohs cheat the first dynasty family, who themselves may or may not have been related to me. Okay, I see it as they're related to me. They look similar to me. It doesn't seem to be a coincidence, but there's a chance that they're not related to me. I'm going to throw that out to be scientific. Okay, the archetype of Pharaoh. I'm not a scientist, mind you. I believe in faith in God and truth and giving people their credit and so on and so forth. Okay, now what happens is eventually Osiris, people do magic, and Osiris is one of the main people that does it, and the Christians adopted this idea with Serapis. Serapis, Osiris, Apis, and Hades. Hades known as the passive. The mages, the scribes, the sages, the priests, they're passive, and they're superimposed on the martial art order. That's why they wear sashes quite often. The priests wearing sashes, they wear a uniform that resembles a gi, and Catholicism is said to be older than a lot of these denominations, certainly the Protestants. Okay, Orthodox argue they're older. Okay, but there's this uniform, there's the sash, diet and deity, right? The chefs wear something similar quite often as the martial art, the Chinese martial art gi of Kung Fu. You see me in my picture with. I don't do Kung Fu, mind you. I wear it because it resonates with me. There's something there, but it really communicates the idea of martial arts and God. And I do Royal African Falcon, Transcendent Hero, Pure Masculine, Martial Arts, heterosexual. So there's a lot of gay guys and so on and so forth. The sage is a play on words for e-gays, right? E-gas, fume, F-you me, and me, F-you. They want to have sex with you. For whatever reason, this seems to predate the modern slang of F-you, and it has to do with where slang comes from, Masonic wordplay, occult wordplay, and on and on and on. Okay. The criminal underworld and where it overlaps with the occult and how that affects the deep state and slang words and so on and so on. So that's basically what's going on in a nutshell. I'm the top martial arts ever. Obi backwards is Ebo, obelisk, O-B-E-L-I-S-K. So Obi scale scrambled, Ebo scale scrambled. Now it's also play on words for Ebo all ask, Obi all ask. The divine verdict, Proverbs 16:10 is from on the lips of a king. So obelisk is a phallic symbol. At the top of it is a pyramid-shaped thing, right? So the penis head, the pyramid shape, the pyramid itself is a penis head. It's directing. It's not so much the pleasure of having sex, it's the point of having sex. It's the direction that's being made when one reproduces. This is part of why there's no moral path after I die. We see it in the various Egyptian stories. Horus is the archetype of Pharaoh. God can protect his son. In this case, they defined God as Ra. God is Ra because Ra is the sun is a symbol of God in the Bible. Even the sun stops shining when Jesus is crucified, and go on and on, right? Representing the Holy Spirit is not around anymore at that time. Okay, and the word is the draw. Okay, drawing on the Spirit of God. So, that's what's going on. Horus the archetype Pharaoh, God of war, top martial artist. You see all these people in all their respective groupings cheating them, and we see Narmer. The Narmer-ish form is the ideal form, basically 6'4", skywalking, striking form, not basketball like Jordan, but similar to Jordan's shape. I'm the last one, and it's also the accompanying moral code first and foremost. Moral clarity, mental clarity, romantic clarity, spiritual clarity. And they do all kinds of bitch shit like feel me, make me slip on my words, because they're doing a ritual, right? Right to you, L, right? Say, make them different, then get rid of them, make them say, hey, he's like us, and it continues with us, because that's their Osiris kind of belief system. He dies, and the next pharaoh draws his spirit, or something like this, okay, in terms of what they interpret. I'm not a follower of Osiris. I believe that's complete bullshit, No one can be established to wickedness. I agree with the Bible there, and nobody has established themselves to righteousness, nor their offspring, nor could they possibly. So it ends when I die.